Okay, so you're starting a research project, and it can feel like you're totally lost at sea, right? Just this ocean of articles and papers all around you. But what if I told you there's a map? And not just any map. I'm talking about a treasure map, the kind that guides you straight to a real discovery. Well, that map, it's called the Literature Review. And today, we're going to learn how to read it.
So, I bet I know what you're thinking. A literature review? Wait, isn't that just a super long, kind of boring summary of everything I've had to read? Look, it's a fair question. And honestly, it's probably the biggest myth we're going to bust today.
Yeah, because a literature review is so much more than just a summary. It's a critical analysis. Think of it like this. It's you, as the researcher, stepping into this big, ongoing conversation. You're listening to what everyone's already said, figuring out what they haven't said, and then pointing to that one exact spot and saying, right there, that's where my work fits in. It's all about finding that gap.
All right, so here's our game plan, our expedition, if you will. We're going to cover what this lit review thing really is, why it matters so much, and then we'll get into the nitty-gritty, how to get started, how to read things critically, and finally, how to draw your own map to discovery.
Okay, so first things first, why does this map even matter? I mean, why can't you just skip all this and jump right into your own experiment or analysis? The short answer, because without it, you're basically sailing blind.
You see, a really good lit review, it's the foundation for everything you're about to do. It makes your research questions way sharper. It proves you actually know what you're talking about in your field. It stops you from accidentally repeating work someone else has already done. And by mapping out what's already there, you build your own credibility. You're showing everyone that your study isn't just another random piece of the puzzle. No, it's the missing piece, the one that might just change the whole picture.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. Check this out. This is actual feedback from a peer reviewer on a real paper. See that? Lacks critical analysis. That's what happens when your lit review is just a big summary. A weak review doesn't just, look bad. It can get your entire paper flat out rejected. The stakes are for sure high.
Okay, so yeah, the stakes are high. But don't let that intimidate you. Getting started is totally manageable. So let's talk about charting your course, and we'll start with a few really simple but powerful first steps.
Step 1, as you start reading, try not to see just a bunch of separate papers. Instead, look for the common threads, the themes, the methods, the arguments that keep popping up. Step 2 is all about taking great notes. We're talking about an annotated bibliography. For every single source, jot down the main points, grab some key quotes, and try to put their argument in your own words. And step 3, my favorite tip, color code your notes by theme. I know it sounds super simple, but trust me, it's an absolute lifesaver when you have to start grouping all those ideas together later on.
And hey, quick pro tip for you. Please don't try to manage all this with a million sticky notes. It's a recipe for chaos. Instead, use a tool. A reference manager like Zotero or Mendeley, or even something flexible like Notion will be your best friend. It's going to save you so much time and keep you organized right from the get-go.
All right, so you're getting organized. Your system is in place. Now comes the most important skill of all, reading the signs. This is the big shift, right? This is where we stop being just collectors of information and start becoming true critical analysts.
So as you're reading each paper, put on your detective hat. And the first question you got to ask yourself is this: is their main argument actually supported by their data? Don't just accept what they say. You have to really dig in and interrogate the evidence.
Next up, you got to zoom out. Think about the bigger picture. How does this one paper fit into the giant conversation that's already happening? Is it agreeing with everyone else, or is it shaking things up? Knowing where it stands is absolutely crucial.
And all of this, it all leads to the most important question you can possibly ask. After you've read everything, after you've analyzed it all, you have to ask, okay, what's still missing? What's the one angle, the one perspective that everybody else has overlooked? That blank space on the map? That is your gap, and that is where your real research begins.
So, you've found it. You've identified your territory on the map. Now it's time to actually draw that map for everyone else. You've got to show them the path you took to find that gap and where the new discovery is hiding. It's time to start writing.
And this right here, this slide nails the difference perfectly. On the left, you've got simple description. It's just a laundry list. Smith said this, Jones said that. Boring, right? But look at the right side. That's critical analysis. You're putting Smith and Jones into a conversation with each other. You're showing how they relate, what they both missed, and in doing so, you reveal the gap. That is how you build a real argument.
So as you start writing, keep these key guidelines in mind. You want to start broad and then funnel down to your specific topic. Organize everything logically, usually by theme is best, so it tells a clear story. And the whole time, you've got to be critical, not just descriptive. Always be pointing to that gap you're there to fill. And one last thing, remember, this isn't a one-and-done deal. Your lit review is a living document. Keep updating it as you learn more.
At the end of the day, here's what it all boils down to. Your literature review is your proof. It proves you've done your homework, it proves you understand the conversation happening in your field, and most importantly, it proves you have something new and valuable to add. It's what gives you credibility before you even show a single piece of your own data.
So I really want to leave you with this final thought. Stop thinking of yourself as just a student who has to summarize a bunch of articles. That's not what this is. Think of yourself as an explorer. You are an explorer, carefully charting the known world, mapping the entire landscape of knowledge, all so you can point to the horizon and show everyone else where the new frontiers, the new discoveries are waiting.
Look, your literature review is so much more than just another assignment. It is your map. It's your guide to making a real, meaningful contribution. The world of knowledge is out there, just waiting. So the only question left is, what new territory will you discover?